Hello, my name is Thomas Langer. I'm a Helidon architect and I will show you how to generate a native image from Helidon MicroProfile 2.0. We will start with generating a project, so let's go to documentation of Helidon 2. We will select Helidon MicroProfile, and here on the left you can see that we have a section for guides, and I will choose the Helidon MP Quick Start Guide. You can just copy the script from here to generate your project. I've already done this. I will get to the details later on. The second prerequisite that we have for generating a native image is to have an installation of GraalVM with the native image binary. So you can go to the GraalVM site to download the community edition, which is for free, or you can use the enterprise edition. And when you download it, you can also download the native image installable. For Helidon 2.0, you need the binaries for Java 11, both for the installation of GraalVM and native image. Once you install this, you can create a native image from Helidon. So let's have a look. I have created a project from the quick start. I did a single change here. I have added one annotation to the getDefaultMessage resource method on the JAX-RS resource class, which will create a counter in the metrics repository and increase it every time you call this method. This is to show the endpoints that are available in MicroProfile. So otherwise the application is unchanged. Now I will go to the command line. I have already built the native image because it takes almost 2 minutes, so it's a bit long for our video, but I will show what needs to be done. So first thing you need to do is you need to define a GraalVM home environment variable that points to the installation of your GraalVM with native image. In my case, I'm using version 20.1. You should use this version or newer to build Helidon MP. Second part of the setup is you just run Maven. So if you do Maven clean package with the profile called native image, this will generate Helidon MP native image. This profile is already in the parent project that you use when you created the MicroProfile Quick Start. So let's have a look on the stuff that's generated. So first there is the native image file itself, which is located in the target directory, and as you can see it's 88 megabytes. This is a final binary. You don't need any other binaries to be able to run this application. When you use Java in hotspot, you will be using all the libraries that are in the target/libs, because we use the concept of hollow jar. So all the libraries are in a specific directory, and the jar file is only containing the business logic and configuration that is part of your application. So you can see that overall it's 18 megabytes of libraries, plus obviously the whole JVM or JDK that you need to have installed to be able to run a Java application. So now I will run this application. I'm using the native image right now, and you can see that the startup time is 46 milliseconds. This is because native image does all the static initialization during compilation time. And now I will execute some of the endpoints that we have. So first endpoint, I will just execute the default greet, which will return hello world. Then I will execute a greeting with a parameter. You can see that these work as expected. So this was the business logic, a very simple one, but it showcases how to build JAX-RS resource with Helidon MicroProfile. The next endpoint I will execute is the health endpoint. There is one difference here between a native image and hotspot. You can see that the deadlock detection is disabled because there is no API in a native image that supports this that we use in Java hotspot. Then I can show the application metrics that are created. So you can see there is metrics/application. There are other endpoints as well. There is /base and /vendor. I just show the application because that's a single counter that we have increased. And for the sake of completeness, we can see that if I call it again, the counter increases. The last endpoint that's available out of the box when you use Helidon MP is the Open API endpoint, which will give you the open API document for this application that is generated automatically from the application classes. So you can see that everything works as expected. We can have a look at how this would work when we just use Java. So I canceled that application and I started again using Java -jar. One of the main differences is it takes 1.7 seconds to start, and that's because CDI needs to boot and initialize itself. This is not happening when we run a native image because all that initialization is done at the build time. Obviously the endpoints are the same, so I will just call our greet endpoint and then I will request the application metrics just to show that we get the same. So you can see with Helidon 2.0 we have done quite simple build of a native image for your application. Obviously you need to be aware of all the limitations of native image itself, but you can use Helidon now for building these applications. Thank you for your attention and enjoy Helidon.